How's it going, everyone? Mark from Like Minded Lunatics coming at you with another episode of Like Minded Lunatics Try. It's a self explanatory playlist. That's where we try something, maybe something we've never tried before, something we haven't tried in a long time. Now, I want to be clear here. This is not a fear factor playlist. That's not what this is about. This is us genuinely trying something new or something that we haven't tried in a long time. Todd, you want to introduce the folks that are with us and introduce what we're trying today?
Absolutely. So, while we're hopefully wrapping COVID, we're still doing this stuff remotely. And so we thought it would be fun to do these first few as TV dinners. And so the TV dinner we have today is Amy's mac and cheese, but it's not just mac and cheese. And this is Ricky's pick, so he'll talk about this in a second. It's Amy's vegan rice mac and cheese. So this is for people who can't tolerate the gluten, can't tolerate the dairy or choose not to, or just for people in general who don't care for themselves. No. Ricky, talk to us about this choice.
Okay, Todd. So this was my turn to choose, and I thought, what is the weirdest thing I can get that was available at local grocery stores? I found corn dogs with chocolate chip pancakes and all kinds of stuff, but this rice mac and cheese with vegan cheese, I thought was pretty nutty compared to all the other stuff that we've done. So I just tried to get something a little way outside of the box.
Love it. It's far out. So, okay. So why don't you talk to us, Rick, about how we're going to make this? And I was before you get into it, I will say, fellas, I think this is the simplest prep we've had so far. So that bodes well. And then, Jim, before we go and cook, why don't you talk to us a little bit about how we are grading these things? So Rick, how are we making this stuff?
Okay, so here are the rules. No condiments, no hot sauce, no anything, nothing. My kids would add ketchup to mac and cheese. We can't do that. None of that.
No hot sauce. Okay.
So we're going to nuke it, remove overwrap. So that should be easy compared to some of the ones we've done. Place tray on a microwave-safe plate. That's something different. Cook on high for 3 minutes. Stir. Cook another high 1 to 2 minutes. Let sit 1 minute and then serve. There we go.
I mean, simple. It is weird that it takes 40 minutes in the oven. That's
good
long.
Gracious. That's a dedicated dish.
Yeah, and it's just one. So. One thing that fascinates me about this, because, if it's a TV dinner, you're always looking at like fat content, sodium content, curious about that. So when I looked at this, I wasn't at first overwhelmed by anything, except for the fact that, okay, yes, it's a high sodium count, 840 milligrams, and it's a high fat count, 50% of your saturated fat for the day. But this bad boy only has 380 calories. So I would think like it's not going to be very filling, but I guess they had to make it nice and rich and fatty so that it feels like cheese.
Yeah.
It makes me like suspicious, but also excited to see what's happening. So, Jim, talk to us about what it's going to be like for us as we're trying to evaluate this thing.
Sure, guys. So the way it's going to work is we're going to grade it on an A through F scale. Bear with me 1 second, guys. I'm sorry. Here.
What is happening?
I don't know. Maybe he has to go to the bathroom.
Oh, I see. Okay. I thought something interesting was going to happen.
Yeah.
My bad, guys. Sorry, dogs are crazy. All
That's
right.
okay.
Or
So
someone
this is what we're
broke
gonna
in.
do. We're
Wouldn't that be
gonna
interesting if we witnessed someone break in the house? Sorry. I'm sorry. I'll pay attention.
So we're going to do an old-fashioned grade school grading here. If it's an F, that means it's disgusting, makes you retch. It is horrible. Don't ever want to taste it again. My D go-to is, I had a couple of beers, 9 or 12 or more, and I'd eat it if I'm feeling good. C, we're gonna say it's all right. Okay, wasn't expecting much, wasn't good at all, but it wasn't bad. All right, B, not bad. If I'm in a hurry, I'm coming home late, I might actually look forward to eating this, right? That's a B, good, above average. And we're going to reserve the A if it's that restaurant quality, grandma, abuelita quality, where, man, this is some good stuff. So hard to get an A, but I have my hope. B, C range is what I'm hoping for right now, guys.
Awesome.
Excellent. All right. So we're going to go off and cook, right, Mark?
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll throw this into a montage, and the music that you're going to enjoy for the next 25 seconds or so, all of it was done by Ricky. So if you like that stuff, look Ricky up. You can find some of his other music in our other videos. You can check those out. All right, guys, what do you think? Go microwave?
Yeah, let's go cook.
Perfect. All right, fellas. All right, guys.
Fellas, nice and hot.
Ooh, it is boiling hot.
Todd, it occurs to me we didn't go over what we were drinking at the beginning of this, which I feel like is one of the only reasons I like doing these segments because we get to drink.
Yeah, not because you want to talk to us or see your friends.
No, just an excuse to binge drink.
Are we friends even? I mean, that's kind of that's a big assumption you're making there.
Well, and if you continue to drink all day after this, there's no problem with it because you were doing it for sort of like for work at first.
Yes, I sit here and edit these and just keep drinking,
promoting the brand. Okay, I'm going to start since you brought it up. I got a big old growler here with me today. I'm going to go through all of these ounces, and I'm drinking a really good one. This is the first time I've had them. They're called Second Pitch Beer Company, and this is their one of their main brews, hometown beer, and it's an amber. Really malty. I'm not as much an IPA guy. If it's an amazing one, I'll have it. But if I'm gonna crank up one of the basic ingredients of beer, I want that malt. And this is really nutty and yum. So shout out to the Second Pitch Beer Company in San Antonio. The dude is from San Francisco, but he's a transplant. But anyway,
that's awesome.
Yeah,
I started this segment with a blur from Circle Brewing here in Austin. And I'm going to be honest, I'm not excited about a vegan cheese. So I wanted to make sure that my beer was something I was excited about. So I went with an electric jellyfish. I know Ricky knows what this one is. Yes. Fantastic beer from Pine House Pizza here in Austin. I am excited about the beer. So hopefully that will compensate for my lack of excitement about a vegan cheese.
Now, real quick, because I think we have time for this. Folks need to know, if they don't know the history of one Mark Gifford, your dad's a dairy farmer.
That's correct. And I've not told you this, Todd. When I was a kid at Six Flags, you remember Dippin' Dots? Do you remember those things?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I remember being at Six Flags and desperately wanting Dippin' Dots. And mom telling me that's fake dairy. It's not real food. I'm not buying it. You can have all of the Bluebell you want, but if you want those things, you have to use your own money. I had no money. I'd used it on video games. So I never tried the Dippin' Dots. Mom would roll over in her grave if she knew I was doing this. I can tell you that.
When we were deciding on what to do, you had messaged us saying, "Oh my gosh, my dad's probably freaking out. My mom's rolling over in her grave."
Ricky, what are you drinking?
Okay, I've been practicing all morning. Are you ready?
Oh,
do it.
All right.
Nice.
All right.
McConaughey's.
McConaughey's by Twisted X. It is a great hazy IPA, and my Batman.
Ooh,
nice. I love that McConaughey's. I've had that several times. I've even done it on a Friday night reaction video. It's great beer.
It's good.
Jim, what are you doing?
Ich habe ein Warsteiner that I got, a German Pilsner that I got at Costco on a whim. It looked good. And it's a German Pilsner. It's not bad. It's really good. It has a little fuller taste than American Pilsners. A little spicy back end, a little heavy back end, but I really like it. It goes down well.
Nice. You're really selling it too. I'm going to have to get that one.
No. All right, guys, what's stopping us from eating aside from the fact that we're all a little afraid of it?
Yeah. Now, we usually do the test on it just to give us an overall look.
What do you guys think of the look and the aroma here?
I am concerned, to be quite frank, about what's on the side of this. It looks like whatever it is has set up around the edges
Yeah.
in a crusty kind of consistency.
Mhm.
And it's not very stirrable. I don't know if folks can see it. It doesn't, I don't know.
You know what this
It's a
reminds me of?
different consistency.
So when I was a kid, my mother only ever bought generic brands. So I never had real Kraft mac and cheese. We had like the store brand, and you know, ignorance is bliss. I didn't know any better. But this reminds me of the imitation Kraft mac and cheese, like the
Okay.
Hill Country Fair HEB
Uh-huh.
style local grocery store brand. This is what it looks and smells like to me. That's what I think of.
All right. Ricky, what do you think? How's yours looking?
Mine looks and smells good. I'm actually kind of excited. My mom's probably shivering because she makes really good homemade mac and cheese.
Yeah.
But I'm excited.
And Debbie's a good cook. I remember that.
Yeah.
I was seeing before I tried here, I'm just looking at the ingredients list, and I was trying to wonder where the fat content's coming from. I think it's that coconut oil. I tried cooking with coconut oil before, trying to avoid butters just to sample it, and it's got creamy. So I'm hoping for creamy here. Let's eat.
Okay. All right, so right off the bat, it is very gelatinous. And I have to say that's probably from the rice. It reminds me of mochi or some of the Japanese rice flour desserts that are very sticky.
Uh-huh.
That's what it reminds me of.
I have a taste of cardboard in there.
Yeah.
Mm. And one disclaimer, fellas, I haven't eaten all morning. I've been up since about 7.
Uh-huh.
I haven't eaten, and it's about 12:45 right now. And this is not very appealing, and that's because I was hungry.
So I'm going to try to put myself in the context of what if you are intolerant, to gluten or to dairy, and it's been like, let's say you're 40 years old, and it's been since you were like 5 years old that you had macaroni and cheese. I might think that this would feel like comfort food, decadent, rich. But as someone who eats macaroni and cheese regularly, I'm not loving it.
Yeah. No, I agree.
It tastes very synthetic.
Yeah.
I agree.
Doing music, you always hear an instrument, and you're like, I don't think that's real. That's a computer instrument. This tastes like computer mac and cheese. It doesn't taste real.
Like in The Matrix, when he's having the steak dinner and he can't tell the difference, I think we would be like, I think this is The Matrix.
Yeah, that's it. That's right.
Well, and I think, with really good cheddar mac and cheese or with a Gruyere mixed in, you can blindfold yourself and you can, that's rich. That's a rich, cheesy. I don't know if I was blindfolded, if I could tell you this was supposed to be mac and cheese.
It does photograph decently.
Yeah.
It does, yeah. They obviously spent a lot of money on the dye.
On the
I feel
look.
like yes.
Uh-huh.
I'm a pepper guy too, and since we're just tasting them, I feel like maybe with some pepper on it might not be as horrible. But if we're testing just, but some pepper would have done it, made it a little bit better. I think.
Yeah, I mean, it could be saltier too. For as salty as it says it is on the package, I'm not getting a strong salt flavor.
They should just call this like macaroni and sauce.
Yeah.
I feel like if they called it macaroni and sauce, I wouldn't have as much of a problem with it. But it's clearly not a cheese.
I'm eating more of it than you guys, though. I see you guys are already halting and like pushing it away slowly.
I think about a good half.
I'm kind of getting in.
The box also says that there is carrot, pumpkin, and apple flavoring in the organic fruit and vegetable concentrate.
I would feel better if I could taste one of those things. If I could taste one of those things, it might give it more flavor. But right now, it's just gelatinous stickiness to me.
And I'm wanting a beverage to wash it down because it coats your mouth.
Yeah.
You know what it reminds me of? It tastes like really bad cafeteria mac and cheese from 5th grade.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was never that good. And this is, if cafeteria mac and cheese is here, then this is down here like a step below.
Yeah. I have to imagine this is what the astronauts have to eat. This is, well, I guess
like
it's
an
mac and
MRE.
cheese.
This is a kind of MRE situation.
That's right. It's on the ISS, and this is the only mac and cheese they get. And they're like, I can't wait to get back to Earth.
All right, Mark, I'm gonna put you on the spot here to grade first. So start thinking through. There's not multiple. One interesting thing about this is it's not a protein with a veg and with a starch or something. This is it all on its own. So one bite and you've kind of experienced it.
I think so.
What are you thinking in terms of where you're going with the grade here? I gotta have more beverage. I'm thick-mouthed.
I have to go F on this. I have to go F on this. And it's one of those things that even if I was drunk, if I was at a friend's house and I was going to raid the friend's fridge, this would literally be the last thing I would steal. I don't care for it. And the problem with me is the cheese part. There's no cheese in this. Cheese comes from dairy. Dairy comes from a teat. There's no teat involved with this at all. It's just a sauce.
Jim, did you know he was going to say teat at some point in the?
I had no idea he was
in the video. Okay,
I'm not mature enough for these types of words. He needs to stop.
So before we move on, an F. If we're thinking numerically, that's anywhere from a 0 to a 59 potentially. How close to a D are you giving it?
I would go flat 50.
Wow. Yeah.
Flat 50 for me.
That's like that student who it's a 5-page assignment.
Yes.
And they're supposed to have 5 sources and citations. This is a 1-page attempt, right?
Yes.
So the 50 points, it's not a 0.
They submitted something that kind of sort of looks like what they were supposed to do, but was in no way meeting the minimum requirements. Amy, you didn't even meet the minimum requirements.
50 from Mark. Ricky, what do you think?
I mean, doing music, I hear a lot of fake instruments, but sometimes it can still be pretty good. So I'd probably go like a C-. It tastes synthetic, but if I was drunk, I'd probably eat it. Now, if I was in high school and I saw the word organic rice, mac and cheese, I would probably be old, but I think it's okay. It's not great, but I'd say a good solid C-, about a 72 or so.
Yeah. Okay. Jim?
I'm going to go straight D on this. Because if I were drunk, I've had a couple. I was like, ain't nothing else. I'm just go ahead and grab this Amy's mac and cheese.
And you pepper it up. You pepper it good.
Pepper it real good. Put a lot of pepper on there. A little extra salt. I'd probably throw in some Louisiana hot sauce on it to get a little bit extra flavor. And if I did all that, it's a 65. It's not good, but to me, it meets the minimum requirements. No, it's slightly less than the minimum requirements, and I give it a D. Passing.
Yeah, I'm gonna go somewhere in that realm as well. I'll go D- because you saw me. I was legitimately eating it. I was noshing on it even after I knew it wasn't a good grade. And I've had food. We've all had food that we had to, not to be rude in company, we had to turn around and spit into a napkin. Do you know what I mean? I'm not putting this under the table for the dog. I'm eating it. So I'm going to say that's a D. That's the lowest D, though. I'll give it a 60. I'll give it a 60.
Oof, right there on the edge.
Yeah.
Well, I think that the average of, it was a D. I think it's a barely pass. Mm-hmm. So I think that's about right. Ultimately, we got some outliers, but ultimately barely pass. I think that's a fair assessment.
Yeah,
it's like in the Far Side comic strip where the cat's trying to trick the dog, and they write dog food on the bowl, but they spell it F-U-D. This is food.
This is the C-H-E-Z. This is the cheese.
That's right. Mark, any final things before we wrap up?
I don't think so. Other than I think I would like to tell folks this: is there something you would like for us to try? Is there something you would like for us to take a look at? If so, let us know in the comments. We would love to see your suggestions. Remember, this is not a Fear Factor thing. We're not eating bugs. We're not doing any of that nonsense.
Not
yet. If there's something you want us to give a shot, let us know. We would love to see it. And in the top right-hand corner of your screen, Todd, raise your hand. You'll see the playlist for this Like-Minded Lunatics Try. Please check out some of the other videos that we've done. And by all means, in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, Jim's showing you where it's at. Hit that subscribe button. Not only does that let us know that you're watching our content, it lets YouTube know that it should recommend it to other folks. So you'd be helping us out. Todd, final thoughts?
Well, also, folks need to remember that Like Minded Lunatics is not just Like Minded Lunatics Try. It's also a ton of stuff that we put together and separately on our own. Mark's got the Friday night videos. Always a good time. Please check those out. And the four of us, the four horsemen of the Like-Minded Lunatics Apocalypse. I got a lot of words I'm trying to get out.
Sure.
We did the Adventures of Hero Man together. Folks need to listen to that for a good radio drama. It's not us eating, but it's pretty good. We are also not just on YouTube. Like My Lunatics is on Twitter. We are on Instagram. We're on Facebook. All the things that you and your kids like. So from Like My Lunatics, we're Mark, Todd, Ricky, and Jim. Thanks, guys. See ya.